Brazil won, Morocco won. And after watching that game, I I was quite surprised. I did not think Morocco were going to go out in the way they just did and boss up a game against Brazil. We all knew the side that Morocco was in 2022 at the World Cup in Qatar. And 4 years from then, they're almost like a brand new team. Many players have left, many players have gone, and they came in with a new squad. And I didn't believe that they were gonna come out and show Brazil levels like they did. And in Morocco or in Africa, they're known as the Brazil of Africa. Well, they're gonna have to change that name because they just showed that we're better than Brazil. Why are you calling us the Brazil of Africa? It should be the other way around. But all in all, like the game from Brazil, it just wasn't good at all whatsoever. I did not come here to expect Morocco was going to do this, and congratulations to them because they played a very very well game. And a few players for Brazil. Well, we'll talk about Buadi. Buadi, this 18-year-old kid from, I believe, Lille. And within the French league, he was already regarded as a class player, an up and coming player, and even on the cusp of playing for the French national team until he made the switch over. And he even had links to Real Madrid about a year or 2 years back. Well, today, the game that he just had was probably one of the best games from like a kid, a debut game that I've seen in all my life watching football. He stepped onto the same field with the likes of Casemiro, proven legend by Real Madrid and Manchester United, won countless trophies. Bruno Guimaraes, a guy that for Newcastle is their main midfielder and like the boss of the Premier League. And this 18-year-old just came out there and bossed up the game like they weren't there. The whole midfield of Morocco, Unahi, Buadi, El Ayuni, they showed they showed Brazil this is how to play football, and they just the constant press from having them. And overall, from this Brazil side, you know, I don't think they can keep on having Thiago up front. Yes, we saw Thiago for Brentford had about 20 plus goals in the Premier League, but for Brazil for yesterday, he looked a million miles off of it. Every touch was loose. Every ball he had got into his feet was either stuck or just ran out of bounds. He just didn't know what to do and couldn't find himself in the game. And there was a few chances for him to have, but he just wasn't in for Brazil. And there's no way Carlo Ancelotti starts in the next game when you have the likes of Endrick, who we didn't see come on, who João Pedro stayed home. He didn't come on the plane because this is the man that was gonna step up for us, but he didn't provide. Cunha, Paqueta, even Rafinha. Rafinha himself, for as much flack that Vinny gets for this Brazil side not providing anything, Rafinha, you're the right winger. The last 2 seasons at Barcelona, you had a stellar career, a stellar run where you're hitting these insane sorts of numbers 40, 50 Js, getting your name in Ballon d'Or conversations, top five for the last 2 seasons. But you stink it up like this for Brazil? I'm trying to wonder, where were you at? Yeah, Vinny gets all the stick, but you also deserve some of it as well because you're a superstar. You're a top three wingers in the world right now. You're top three, and you should be able to perform at these World Cups. But similar to that, he is a system player. Hansi Flick, the way that he loves to play football, the way that he loves putting his sides out, he gets the maximum amount out of his wingers. And we saw this numerous times with Nabry when he pulled up to Bayern. Nabry before that wasn't the talk of the town, but after 2 seasons under Hansi Flick, he became a renowned winger, hitting numbers that he's never seen before. And ever since he's left, is he still hitting those numbers? Same as well. He transformed a little bit of, you know, Rashford's career, adding numbers to his game. So we know the way Hansi Flick plays football, he elevates the wingers. He elevates the wing play of many offense that he is. And maybe Carlo Ancelotti needs to find a way to circumvent him to, build a system around him. But then today, we'll talk about Vinny. Vinny, although he scored the the banger of a goal, he still was lackadaisical in the second half. He didn't provide much other than that goal. And that goal was beautiful. You know, he got in behind, got a 1-2, got it back, shifted inwards, and then just rifled it through the goalkeeper, rifled it far post. And if Vinny can keep on doing this, he can very well, lead Brazil to the charge. And look, I just found out yesterday that, this is like 5 GA in total for Vinny. And I believe he tied Ronaldinho's record for World Cup matches in half the games. That's a pretty, outstanding feat. But the way that Brazil are going to be able to even, because I would love to see Brazil win. I want to see Brazil win. I want to see, because when you think about soccer, think about football, you think about Brazil. When you think about the World Cup, you think about the 5-time winners, Brazil. And just the way they keep on going about their business, the way things are handled. Casemiro's a million miles off it. Guimaraes, Paqueta, every time the brother received the ball, it's like he just kept on losing it. It's like you didn't see Joga Benito out there. You saw the opposite of that. And every touch from these Brazilian players was just wasn't up to par. And even in the second half, the water breaks honestly saved Brazil. They saved Brazil because if the match flow went exactly the way it was the whole time, I don't believe Brazil would have walked out there with even a tie. They potentially could have lost. And there was a few moments in the game where, Brahim Diaz, I thought, for watching Madrid, he's always influential. And today, bar getting the assist, I feel like every time he got the ball, he just wanted to dribble up the whole team and not really combine with his teammates. And Hakimi was very lucky to not get sent off because that high challenge above Vinny's ankle, like, come on now. Come on now, referee. We're in the day and age of VAR, and you were right there watching it. And the fact that they didn't decide to look at that, hey. But the way we need to see Endrick play. We've seen so many attacking options at the top, at the 9, whether it be, Richarlison, which has probably been the best one so far, Igor Tiao, Cunha, João Pedro, you left home, older generations of Fred, Evan Nielsen, Joe. It's just that they're missing that piece up front. And I don't know what Endrick has to do to prove himself to play because we've seen him at every time, even at Madrid, every time he was called upon, he did his job. He scored. I'll score one in the Champions League. I'll score in the Copa del Rey. I'll score for Brazil, for France, for these nations. I will score against them every time I called upon. But it seems Carlo Ancelotti always seems to doubt him. And then he even pulled off a stellar loan move when he went to Lyon, hitting, I want to say, 12 GA in 14 games. That is a brilliant return from a youngster, an 18-year-old or 19-year-old now. But the amount of times, when are we going to see him start? How many times does he have to prove himself to finally get this start for Ancelotti, for this Brazilian team? And yeah, people say, yeah, he's young, he's a teenager. Well, Pele was playing at Brazil for 17. I'm not trying to compare him to Pele, but I'm just saying, stars, put pressure on stars and they will perform. They will perform like diamonds. But either way, I'm actually quite astounded at the way that Morocco is going to be lining up for this rest of this World Cup. I do believe they can go far. They have the talent to, and it seems like with the new coach, the way everything is set up, everything is going perfectly fine. And yeah, if you guys like what you heard, this is MBS, Mohamed bin Sports. Until next time, take care, everyone.